In this video, I want to show you how we can download the free version of the Visual Studio, and we go together step by step until the setup will be finished. So first, you have to go to visualstudio.microsoft.com. Then you have several options or several places that you can download the Visual Studio. First, here go to the downloads, or here click on a Visual Studio download, or you see here two different things. First, Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code. There is a bunch of differences between these IDEs that I can explain it later for you. So if you put your mouse on this button, you can see different versions of the Visual Studio. The first one is free, but these professional and the enterprise, you should pay for it. So we click for the community. Then you can see here a new Visual Studio setup file downloaded. So we click on it. In the beginning, it checks your installer is updated or not. So which we download it now, which means it's updated. Click continue. So you see this setup file. So here you see several things which at the first look it looks confusing, but it will be better when you know how you need it and how you should use them. So you can use Visual Studio as a multi-language IDE. For example, you can use .NET, Microsoft Azure, Python, Node.js, and so on. For the beginning, we just need .NET Desktop Development. I check it. So in the right side, you see several options that by default checked, which means this framework supports, for example, .NET Entity Framework 6 or .NET 4.8, which now it is completely complicated for you guys, but we will go through it step by step. In the next tab, you see different .NET versions and different opportunities for programming. For example, here you can add different SDKs for different programmings. For example, if you want to program for an iOS, you have to check this. Or if you want to write a program for a tvOS, you have to check this. In the next tab, you can add multiple language to your IDE. For example, if your mother tongue is not English, you can add French, German, Italian, and Japanese. If you run your Visual Studio for the first time, by default, the language is English. But when you change it to the other ones, after new restart the Visual Studio, the language will be changed. The last tab is place that you want to install your software. So when you want to install the Visual Studio, you should connect it to the internet. So as you see here, it's installed while downloading. If you click install, the Visual Studio will be installed and we can use it.
One eternity later.
Well done, guys. When the setup is finished, you can go and run the Visual Studio and do some coding. Let's see together how we can find the Visual Studio. If the shortcut will be not automatically created on your desktop, you can go to the Start, type Visual Studio and click on it. This is the first dialog that you see from the Visual Studio for the first time. If you created some projects from the other days, you can see it here. Or if you want to create a new project, you click it here. Open a project from a folder, open a project or solution, or clone a repository. Don't worry, guys, I will explain little by little in the further videos. For now, we click continue without code. When you open your Visual Studio for the first time, you see this page. So in this page, you can see your Visual Studio version and the features that it's added to this version or it's improved in this version. If you scroll down, you see better options that added to this version, or you can do it with this Visual Studio. So let's close these new things. As you know, the Microsoft products, all the softwares and products has somehow same features like file, edit, view. So there is bunch of new things here that you see, which is you need it in the advanced things, and when you are going deep into the programming, you will need it, for example, Git, some debugging, and analyze. Okay, we started from the right. Here is the Solution Explorer. Solution Explorer is the place that all the project's files located. This is the Git. If you use the Git server, that will explain it later. All the things will be here. This is a class view and notifications about this version of the Visual Studio. On the left side, you see some database connections and the servers that you connected to it. And the last one is Toolbox. If you created some Windows applications, you will see it here, some toolboxes that we will see it together. In the bottom, you can see the errors, warnings, and messages while you are coding. This is the output that you can see the results of your codes. And the package manager console that you can add more Nugget components to your project.